Alright, signals evening out again. Sharon said, just answer your question, sort of finish it. From here to where we're going to stop in Djuma is, I can almost give it to you exactly, but I'll be 5 or 10 kilometers out probably. About 2,450, 60 kilometers, something like that. Call it 2,500 kilometers. In miles, that is, I don't know exactly what that is in miles. It's about 100 and, well, let's see, 100, 250 is 125, 70, it's about 140, no, not 140, sorry, 1,400, 1,500 miles to where we stop. But it is awesome driving. Lieschen and I are already looking forward to the drive. We're also driving a little bit further. We're going to do about 3,000 kilometers because we're going through Bloemfontein. But the driving is just great. It's open roads, very little traffic, great roads as well, incredible scenery, and I love driving those roads. It's just, mentally you have this awesome space around you, and Lieschen and myself, we always laugh about it. We'll say, we spend 6 weeks together every single day, minute and hour together in the bush, and then we climb in a car and we drive for 2 days solid in that space. But we do love it. We listen to music and we talk and we chat and we discuss things and we laugh about things and we argue about things sometimes, and all the different things that we enjoy about that space. So looking forward to the drive. It is a lovely drive though, and it's quite a long way. Susie asking about Lieshen's wedding dress, if she can describe it. Unfortunately not, because I'll hear and I can't know what it looks like. But so we give one or two things. It's not pure white. It's a bit of, what is it? Ivory?
Well, you knew that, didn't you?
Yeah, no, that I knew. I knew from the beginning. Lieschen said, I'm not getting a pure white dress. And I must admit, I mean, we all know about different colors. I wonder how many whites there are, or how many blacks there are.
Yeah, but that white and that top was white.
But that's the point. Lieschen said, you must see these white dresses. And I went into the shop and I spent a bit of time with Lieschen before she went into the final parts of the fittings and so on. It's incredible how white some of those dresses are. I mean, it is like they like luminous white. I mean, it's like they have this, you know, they I don't know how to explain it. It's unbelievable how white those dresses. I mean, you just look at them long enough, I think they can get dirty. But beautiful, I mean, nonetheless. But yeah, ivory, which I quite like. And as I said, when they packaged it, it was in a box this big. So I don't know how big it can be. I'm just kidding. The box was this big. No, Herman actually brought the dress today. But we'll tell you what the dress looked like after the wedding. In fact, we'll show you pictures. So come back just quickly to sports. We won't go into it too much now. But I mean, we can all say that yes, we won't, and no, we don't, and we don't agree with it, and it's wrong, and all that thing. And I'll agree with all those things. But I can promise you, if tomorrow the Colosseum opened up again, and it was Circus Maximus, it was people with swords and axes, and men wearing leather kilts, and muscles, and bows and arrows, and all the things that went on there, we would not be able to help ourselves but want to watch.
Of course. Someone like Butler.
Yeah, if Gerard Butler and Russell Crowe were to have a go at each other. Look at these warthogs, they're not running off. Well, they are running off, but I mean, they're not disappearing. Typically, warthogs always disappear. You can see why things get nervous, like that squirrel in the beginning of the drive. You know, you don't see much, you just see this movement in the grass, and it's just the same height about as a leopard, especially this time of year when the grass is tall. Let's see, they're going to maybe run onto the road. Let's give them a little bit of space.
Oh, look at
And the little falling. Oh, that's classic, eh? Look at that. That's the... You can see why these things are always depicted as cartoon characters in stories about the African bush. Focus. Pumbas. Warthogs. Vlakvark. Hontjie. Lefakushe. Bartsenswijn. Modderswien. Nkolobe. That's all the names I know for a warthog. That's Lieshen's name for a warthog.
It's not my fault.
It's like Circus Maximus. You can't help it. You're primarily driven to think like that when you see a warthog. Oh yeah, no, Asterix and Obelix. Those of you that read Asterix and Obelix, they did plant a seed. Here they go again. They're off to the waterhole actually. I'm just going to sit back a bit, and maybe they go down for a drink or a There's not really great wallowing spots this side of Gary Woodall, but we'll see. I actually get to look at warthogs often, and I do like them. They are great characters. Very intelligent animals as well, and great characters. There's been a number of warthogs over time, wild warthogs that lived in reserves and areas I was in. But you just get to know them. They hang around in certain areas, and especially the one lodge I worked at in Pilanesberg, you really got to see a lot of warthog interaction in some places. One of my favorite stories that I always remember, and it's funny what stories one remembers eventually or ultimately over time, in all different walks of life. But in terms of wildlife, Pilanesberg, we had this warthog, a huge boar. I mean, a really, really big male, big pig. He must have weighed 90, 100 kilograms. He only had a little stumpy tail. We saw one here the other day, female that has that as well. Just a little tail about that long. Must have been nipped off by, who knows, lion or a leopard or something, a close escape somewhere. And we knew him for years. I mean, I worked in Pilanesberg collectively for about 4.5 years over a 5.5, 6 year period or 5.5 year period. And one day Pieter Makina, one of the guys, great guy, he was actually from Namibia originally. He was, well, actually Zambia originally, but spent a large part of his life in Namibia. Very tall guy. He was like about 190. Came back from drive. He said, "Oh, guys, you know that warthog with the stumpy tail? He's at the lion kill." And he wasn't sort of, you know, sitting around and throwing insults at the lions. He was the meal. And it was the homid males that had caught him. And suddenly you feel really sad because you know that warthog. You know, it's an individual that you spend 3 years or 2 years at least seeing quite often. Gary Woodall, let's just have a quick look at this in case we're not going to come past here again. I love this Woodall. I love this lodge. I spent a lot of time at Voyatella. It's a very special place for me. Lieschen also said so this morning, but I want to just say again a big thank you to Pippa and Yuri Moorman. We've become very good friends over time. I've known Pippa and Yuri almost for a decade now, and Lieschen and Pippa and especially have also become good friends in the last year. This is their place. They built this. They started with Bush Lodge and later on this, and I guided here as well for quite some time. And for a while, big part of that, that's the main lodge area that you could see there that Lieschen was showing, and she's going to, what are you showing next? The viewing deck, and then room 1. And a large part of the time I was guiding, I was at Bush Lodge, but I also spent quite a lot of time here at Voyatella. And the name means to come back, or to come back again, or to come back often. It certainly has been true for me. And if you look at room 1 there, you can see it sort of overlooks the Woodall. There's 8 rooms here. And I spent quite a large part of my time when I was working here living in not room 1 but room 8. When the lodges weren't busy, often I would stay in those rooms for quite some time because I wasn't here. I was here consistently but never on a full-time basis. So I'd spend 2 weeks and then go away and then come back for 2-3 weeks. So I've got a lot of memory of this lodge and living like a king, I guess, in terms of the accommodation. It's always different when you're working at a place, but many memories here at Voyatella Lodge. Great place, and always associated with the friendliness and the sort of honest friendliness of Pippa and Yuri. Always very hospitable and open arms. Tonight we're having our farewell party at their house, at their home, and just want to share with everyone that this is a great place. You can ever come and see, come and visit, come have a look at the place. If you can, even if you don't get to meet them, just leave a little note and say thank you to Pippa and Yuri. They're good people. And their daughters, who were little kids when I met them, are now growing up, Zoe and Becky. I'll be there as well tonight. But yeah, Voyatella Lodge in Gary Woodall. Many of us have got many memories from this place. And Lieschen, your first visit was, one of the big memories we'll always cherish was at the pan here.